I'll just show 2 or 3 cases to bring up that it's not always a simple method. Now, this is a lady who's comes with macroaneurysm related bleeding. Am I audible?
Slide show, Mallika.
Oh, it's okay. So this is a lady who has come with a bleed from a macroaneurysm, and you see most of the bleed is not at the center. So the center is involved, but if I try to do a pneumopexy or I do a vitrectomy and inject TPA and put her prone, actually more blood will come into the center and she will actually lose more vision. So in this situation, I did laser for the macroaneurysm, and then I realized that I have to remove the blood. Most of the blood is superior, but there is some at the center, and vision is only counting fingers. So this is the surgery that was done. I made a retinotomy. This is 23 gauge away from the center. And I tried to aspirate with active suction the blood, but it didn't come. So then I injected, as I'm injecting TPA, the blood is actually coming out. So I realized I have to do a positive pressure actually to get the blood out instead of suction. So this is TPA being injected, 50 micrograms, followed by waiting for some time for the action of TPA to allow the clot to lyse. And then we went in again with active suction. Again, not coming out easily, but actually I used then the reflux of the foot switch to put a positive pressure in the area very gently because it can rip off the retina there. And that was really very effective. So with this reflux and aspiration, I was using them alternately to get out the subretinal blood. And because of the TPA, I think it was possible because the blood had become fluid. But it still required a lot of positive pressure rather than aspiration. And for the remaining part of I used aspiration to remove the thick clots after the liquid blood had been removed. See? And with the vitrector, these clots were eaten away. So that the center, if you see now, has become quite clear of blood. And then just treated with air exchange and laser. And you see post-operatively with silicone oil because it was a large retinotomy. So there's no blood at the center now. And this is after removing the oil, she is 6/6. Similarly, a gentleman with one eye only, this is the left eye which is really working, right is poor. He has some kind of retinal degeneration. And he came to me just 2 months back with sudden vision loss. I'm assuming this is ARMD, but I don't know what's the cause. Now, again here, he's able to still use his paracentral area. If I use pneumopexy, he might lose even that, and he's one-eyed, and he's an HIV positive patient with multiple financial problems. So I could have done the same surgery to remove the blood, but in the lockdown time, I didn't want to take a risk with complications. So I decided not to use gas to remove the central blood, but just give an anti-VEGF for the underlying disease, which was most likely CNVM. This was the condition. The blood was bisecting the center, and inferiorly there was a lot of blood with a PED. So I just gave him an anti-VEGF injection, and you can see that at 1 month, the vision has improved from CF to 636, and he's much happier. So, and the blood is now a little bit away from the center and much less. Inferiorly also it has resolved. And this is a lady with Terson syndrome, subarachnoid hemorrhage with bilateral retinal hemorrhages and subretinal hemorrhages as well. So I was surprised to know that Terson can cause submacular hemorrhages. I just thought they used to cause only retinal hemorrhages or vitreous hemorrhages. So in this right eye, this was a large subretinal bleed also. We gave her a TPA, intravitreal TPA with gas and put her prone. She was very uncooperative from her central CNS condition. So I could not inject the left eye because she was not cooperating. And the right eye improved very well with TPA and gas, prone position. The left eye, I decided to take her up after 5 days. But by this time, you can see the blood has organized. It's becoming yellow and the liquid heme has resolved. Anyway, I thought I'll give just gas and prone position, but TPA was not given for this eye. And so this eye has not resolved to the same, vision recovery has not been to the same extent as the right eye, which actually had more blood, subretinal blood at the time of injection. So in this case, I think the left eye, what I learned, the lesson was probably we should have injected the same day both eyes, even though she was uncooperative. And TPA should have been added probably in the left eye, might have improved the result. Thank you.